The kindest women you know are often in the most painful relationships. Not the loud ones, not the obviously toxic ones, the quietly damaging ones. And it's not a coincidence. There's a pattern to it, a psychological reason why this keeps happening. And once you see the pattern, you start realizing how many women mistook emotional pain for love. Nice girls are usually taught that being loved means being understanding, being patient, being forgiving, being easy to be around. So when someone hurts them, their first instinct isn't to leave. It's to explain the behavior better than the other person ever did. And that's exactly what manipulative people rely on. Over time, she becomes so focused on being easy to love that she forgets to ask whether she actually feels loved at all.
Do I actually feel loved?
Because toxic men rarely look toxic in the beginning. If anything, they feel safe. They listen carefully, they text back quickly, they say things no one has ever said to her before. And for a girl who spent years feeling emotionally unseen, that attention doesn't just feel good. It feels like, finally. I've never connected with anyone like this. You're different from other girls. I feel peaceful around you. And suddenly, she feels chosen, seen, important. For the first time in a long time, her guard starts coming down. What she doesn't realize yet is that being deeply wanted is not the same thing as being deeply cared for. But once she's attached, things start to shift. Slowly, quietly. The texts become inconsistent. The warmth becomes unpredictable. One day, he's completely present. The next day, he feels distant in a way she can't explain. And instead of questioning him, she starts rehearsing conversations in her head before bringing up even the smallest concern. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe he's stressed. Maybe I'm asking for too much. So she adjusts herself, gets softer, quieter, tolerates things she never thought she would, canceled plans, cold replies, being made to feel guilty for having basic emotional needs. At some point, she stops expressing herself naturally. Everything becomes calculated, careful, measured, like she's trying not to trigger distance. And here's what most people don't talk about. The human brain becomes obsessed with inconsistency. When someone cold suddenly becomes warm, that relief feels enormous, almost addictive. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same psychological mechanism behind gambling addiction. You never know when the reward is coming, so you keep trying, keep hoping, keep waiting. At some point, she stops asking, "Does he love me?" and starts asking, "How do I stop him from leaving?" That's when the relationship stops feeling like love and starts feeling like survival. And the saddest part? She's not staying because she's weak. She's staying because she was taught that love requires sacrifice, that if she's patient enough, understanding enough, soft enough, he'll become the person he was in the beginning. But that version of him, it was never the full picture. She keeps loving the version of him that only existed when he was trying to win her. But this pattern isn't permanent. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you were taught certain things about love, and those things can be unlearned. Here's where to start. Toxic relationships are often built on beautiful words and confusing actions. Start paying attention to how you feel after spending time with someone, not just during. Do you feel more like yourself? Or smaller? More anxious? Less certain? Your nervous system notices things your mind tries to rationalize away. The most dangerous relationships often begin with the strongest emotions. But real love doesn't constantly confuse you. It doesn't make you feel like affection is something you have to earn. Because some people only call you difficult the moment your kindness stops benefiting them. Healthy love feels stable. And stability can feel unfamiliar to people who were raised on emotional chaos. Kindness is not the problem. The problem is when kindness becomes self-abandonment. You can be warm and still say no. You can be understanding and still walk away. You can be the most caring person in the room and still choose yourself. Because real love doesn't slowly convince you to become smaller just to keep someone close. A person who truly loves you will never make you feel like basic respect is something you have to earn. If any part of this felt familiar, this video wasn't meant to make you feel broken. It was meant to make you feel seen, because understanding why something happens is the first step to changing it. And maybe healing doesn't begin the moment someone finally chooses you. Maybe it begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself just to keep someone close.